Hey everybody, haven't done one of these string testing videos in quite some time, but somebody sent me these black diamond strings to test, and so here you go. This is the Black Diamond N776, so that's Natasha 776, and it's the heavy gauge, so 0.0115, then 0.016, 0.026, 0.041, so pretty heavy set, and they are phosphor bronze. And, well, I'll just play them a little bit. And then afterward, I'm going to give you an update about what I've been using the most. Because people keep asking me, what are you actually using? You haven't done a video in a while. So did you find these strings or what? So I'll show you what I've been using. And I'm sure lament a little bit about the loss of the EXP74CM as well. But let's try out these Black Diamond heavies. Here we go. So that tune I played was the Cafe Waltz by Steve Smith. That part of the end was just me doodling because that song makes me want to doodle. It's a really, really awesome composition. It is on his album. Let's see, which one is it? All right, the Cafe Waltz. So for those of you who don't know Steve, which is probably not many of you at this point, but Steve is one of the best mandolin players on the scene. And he also was one of my mandolin mentors, and I still learn stuff from him every chance I get. So the album it's on is Desert Night. There's two notes in there I'm not sure I got right. I was listening to it in the car the other day and realizing there's something I play wrong there. So I don't know, but these strings sound really good back in my earbuds. I did not expect that. There's been a few sets in this series that have been like this where when I'm playing them and listening to them, they're fine, but I'm not wowed. But then when I listen back to the video, I just sound like me and I like how it sounds, and sometimes I'm even wowed by the tone the strings are giving off into the microphone. But there is a thing there that I need to be happy with what comes up at me when I'm playing. And that's a factor. Now, I put these on the other day. I played them in a little bit, and then it's been sitting there. And I've been playing my Pava A5 so that I wouldn't wear these strings out before I got a chance to make the video. So tuned it up and started playing a little bit. And, without my earbuds, it sounds good. I'm going to take both out and see if I've changed my mind about these strings. So they sound pretty good. They still have a little bit of a kind of brittleness to them. I like a little rounder sort of sound. There's just something a little bit, tiny bit harsh about them that exists in most strings. So I already feel like these can compete with probably whatever most anybody's using. You know, I think it competes just fine with GHS and things like that. They're not bad strings. I didn't expect much because I'd never tried them and just never even known someone who used them or anything. But yeah, they don't sound too bad. On the mic, I really like how they sound. Now I'm using the same mic setup that I always do. I am using my 𝐁𝐨𝐮𝐫 pick. And for some of the videos, I have used the pick I used to use. For all of the videos so far, I guess. I've used the pick that I used to use, that I was using when I started the string testing series. And that pick is the TPR50. But I've been using this blue chip, this 𝘁𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐶 Tri now for about a year. I think we're at 1 year. Both the Tri and this one that's the same size as the TPR. This one is the, what is this one called? The Tweener 3-round. So this is my normal 𝘁𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐶 pick here. I'll pick up the others for a minute. Something I do notice about the heavies is that, you know, people think of that heavies are going to be harder to play. I don't feel that much of a difference in the left hand, although there is a difference. But there is something really nice about how heavies almost push your pick. It feels like your pick is bouncing back or something. I'm not sure that makes any sense at all. If anybody knows what I'm talking about or has another way to describe it, please do. So anyway, back to this pick. Yeah, just something nice about how that feels. You know, 𝐤𝐴𝐿𝐴 uses heavy gauge strings, and he's one of my favorite mandolin players. A friend of mine described him as 10 mandolin players once. He's that good. Jake uses heavy gauge strings, and I had tried them before, you know, a long time ago, and hadn't ever since. And, you know, when he mentioned, I saw him a while back, and I asked him if he was still using the same strings, and he was. It's the 𝘀𝗴𝗲 heavy Phosphor bronze set. I think it's the one that says Ronnie McCurry picks this set on the front of it. And it reminded me I had these in queue. So when I was trying to decide what to do, I decided, oh, I'll put on some heavies this time. And I like a lot of things about the heavies. There also is something tonally maybe a little tight about heavies to me, or these ones at least. And as I mentioned, it is a little more work for the left hand, but it's not bad. But I kind of wonder if there's things that maybe I would play on my fiddle or something that would be harder to pull off on the mandolin. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think, everybody, about how these sound. I'm going to play just a little more, and then I'll update you on what it is that what I've been using and how I'm feeling about all that. But I haven't done anything really with chopping. comments if you know what this is from. Where's my people out there who know what this is? Definitely didn't play it exactly the way the original person did on that, but let me know who knows what that is. It's one of my favorite musical things in the world. I got to play a lot of my favorite musical things on these strings today. So overall, I'm not unimpressed. I just wish that they sounded to me without my headphones the way they sound coming back. And I'm running a very dry setup here. I'm just using the AT4040 that I always use. And just running it straight into my computer. There's no, oops, I'm bouncing my camera around. There's no effects or anything going on this. It's just the mic. I always put it in about the same spot. And it's always the same mandolin. So good comparison. Something I'm learning more and more as I do this project, though, is that it doesn't matter as much as I thought it did what strings I'm using. And when I put back on the EXP74CM, I every time see why I like those so much. But as I listen back to all these videos and get to know these other sets of strings more, I'm finding that there are a number of strings I could be okay with playing. So I'm going to show you what I've been using. So I've, of course, switched to the EXP74CM a couple times. I've mentioned that in some of my videos, little palette cleansers. But when I've not been doing that, I've been using the ones from my last testing video. These are the 𝘀𝗃𝗃 Phosphor bronze, and it's the gauges that 𝘀𝗴𝗃 calls the custom medium set. So it's the, everybody does their gauges a little bit different how they write them. So this is the same E string as the Black Diamond, the same E string gauge, but Black Diamond writes it in thousandths of an inch here as 0.0115. 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝘀 just writes it as 11.5. At least that's what they put on here. It could be I typed it that way and they just knew what I was talking about. They make these when you order them. It seems that they pack them just for you when you order them. So anyway, the 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝘀 here I'm using is the 11.5, you know, the custom medium, slightly heavy E string, or you could call it a heavy E string, depending on, you know, what you consider to be a heavy set. And then it's a 16, a 26, and a 40. So this actually almost the same gauges here, but it's a 40 instead of a 41. I'd be curious to compare the 41 of this to the 41 of this, and maybe I'll do that sometime. But those are the strings I've been using. So they've lasted well in situations where strings typically last me well. So over the winter, you know, I kill strings. A lot of you know this. I'm a total string killer. So the 𝘀𝗃𝗃s have lasted me in situations where it's not like hot and muggy outside or, you know, hot and muggy inside sort of situations. They've lasted me well. I killed a set of these in 24 hours at Kaufman Camp. It is hot and muggy there. It was raining half the time. It's just the recipe for me to kill strings. The year before, I killed a set of EXP74CMs in 24 hours as well. Now, both of these times I was playing a lot, but still, killed the strings pretty fast. I can kill any set. These overall have not been that bad. They've been maybe in the middle of the road of all the strings I've ever tested for how long it lasts me. And I like the tone. The tone sounds nice with or without my earbuds. These interest me as well. I don't think these are going to be my forever strings, the Black Diamond, but they're not bad either. So if you've tried either of these, I know a bunch of you have messaged me and commented on my videos and stuff, told me you've tried the 𝘀𝗃𝗃s and then the regular vanilla 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝘀s. Let me know what you're thinking about those, and if you've tried the Black Diamond, try that too and let me know, or tell me, comment too and let me know what you think. I'm curious. And I'm especially curious between all these videos, which ones you all think sound the best. A lot of you watch my stuff a lot and you know what stuff I'm into, and if for those of you who do know me well, let me know which things you think fit my style. I'm really curious to know what you think. And maybe you're watching this video for the first time you've ever seen one of my videos. Let me know what you think anyway, because I'd also like to know what people hear who don't know my style and get an overall feel between what I'm feeling about strings and what listeners think to help me figure out what I'm going to use. I am going to test some more sets. I've got some stuff in queue, including the sadly discontinued Elixir mandolin strings. One of the last, or maybe the last coated strings left. So anyway, you know what? 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝗀 still has coated strings. But anyway, all right, I'm going to play a little more something and then I will stop. Did a lot of G stuff. That's what I'll do. Rickroller from my most recent album, Wings of a Jetliner. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss things, and hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you're watching on Facebook, follow this page, and then go on over to YouTube because that's where I'm putting most of my stuff these days. All right, everybody. Bye.